How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And I really do appreciate you taking your time tuning in to today's video. 42 states have what they call a preemption law. And if you didn't know, a state's preemption law makes it so cities and counties in those states can't make any stronger laws than state laws. And even though those states have those preemption laws, some cities and counties in those states still try to pass or do pass laws that are against the law. And it's just crazy to think that the cities and counties in some of these states think they can get away with it, especially when it comes to the Second Amendment. And unbelievably, in a city in Ohio, it just took one gun owner to make a complaint to overturn a law. Until just recently, firearms were banned in the city of Canton, Ohio. And like I said, it just took one man who was a resident to complain about the law. And on October 22nd, the Park Commission voted to update park rules, removing the restriction on guns in parks. And the guy that did so, his name is Daniel Gates. And he informed the parks director that the law banning firearms in parks is against the law. And I think this is absolutely ridiculous, that the guy who was in charge of the parks didn't know that state law permitted firearms in public parks. And Daniel Gates didn't even know that there was a law prohibiting firearms in the park until recently, when he said police officers followed him through one of the parks when he attended an event wearing a gun. And according to Mr. Gates, his father later asked the police chief about what happened. And the police chief informed the guy's father that anyone carrying a firearm in a public park in Canton, Ohio would be arrested because of the city park policy. And according to some people, it's fairly common for cities and counties to pass ordinances that violate the state law. They say over the years, quite a few cities had to remove their no gun signs. But they say some of the signs also are still there. They say most of the cities and counties prefer not to pass laws that go against the state preemption laws because of big lawsuits they'll face. But they say larger cities try to get away with it. In Ohio, the state preemption law was passed in 2007. But unbelievably, a lot of cities have refused to recognize the state preemption law. And in 2008, the Ohio Supreme Court ruled that it's unconstitutional to ban firearms in public parks. They say that the Upper Arlington Council, in December of 2022, updated their law to comply with state law. But also cities like Cincinnati and Columbus continue to fight Ohio's preemption laws and have to be sued to comply with the state law. And even though the law in Canton, Ohio affected a lot of people, like I said earlier, it just took one man to change that law. And that's why I personally think if these city council members, whoever votes and makes a law that breaks the state's preemption law, should be charged with a crime and they should lose their jobs and have to pay a fine. I'd like to hear in the comment section what you think should happen to these city council members who break a state's preemption law. And as always, I appreciate everybody that supports the channel. You guys continue to crush it on every single video that I post by liking, sharing, and subscribing and hitting those post notifications. And I'm very grateful that you do so. And I invite you to come back and watch my next video.